Well, for a change of pace, we'll talk about a halachic aspect of the parsha. But it has to do with hashkafa also, and that is Rachel died, and there's a Medrash Tanchuma and a Zar that say black on white that she died because the sin that Yaakov delayed in fulfilling his neder when he was on the run in last week's parsha. Shaftu Shalmei Vaya Shalib Vaya Samti Matzeva Beis Elokim, and he finally got around to it later in this week's parsha. He went back to Beit El to fulfill his neder. But in the meantime, Rachel died because he was ma'acher in the neder. There's a tanchuma to that effect. There's a zor. All right. The problem is like this. The Sfarim ask us a problem that is against the Gemara. Gemara says mufurish in Rosh Hashanah Daf Vav that on the Isser of Baal Ta'acher, of not delaying your neder, you have to fulfill it within the first 3 regalim. Right? If not, you're over on Baal Ta'acher. Gemara says that the pasuk says lo ta'ach kidrosh hashana vaya bechachet. Chazal dash bechachet v'lo beishtachachet. Baal Ta'acher is all on you. It's not on your wife. Oh, very good. So that's what the Gemara says. All right, and not to be confused with the different Gemara in Shabbos that in the avon of being going against your neder, your wife dies chas v'shalom, because that's different, because that's going against your neder. But stam delaying, mefurish in the Gemara Rosh Hashanah, that's on you, not on her. Mm-hmm. Right. So what's found in the Tanchum and the Zohar? Right. So I just want to share with you three terutzim on this. 2 out of the 3 are from the Kli Chemda. So first of all, he says a very simple chiluk. It says like this: as the Zohar itself says, Rachel was in a shat sakana because she was in childbirth. It's a shat sakana. When you're in a shat sakana, the Satan's mekatrig, and you need a schut to be saved. So it's a simple chiluk. That which the Gemara in Rosh Hashanah says, but of course, if your wife is not in any particular sakana, it's not going to be considered her sin. But if she's in sakana and she's a schut to be saved, every schut counts, right? And then her husband being guilty of Baal Ta'acher for sure is a lack of schut that when you need saving from sakana. So that's the simple chiluk you want to say, that the Zohar just meant to say that she was in sakana and she needed schut to be saved. She needed schut, and Yaakov was lacking in schuyot to save her because he was guilty of Baal Ta'acher. That's his.
So it is Yishtok, but it's just not. Not that clear.
No, so that's not getting into it now. But then he says like this. That's teretz number 1. Teretz number 2 is more interesting, and he says like this. That he says what Yoel says, that what's pshat in the Gemara? We should say v'el b'chachet. B'cha includes your wife because ishto kegufo. Gemara says b'cha lafuke your wife. Ma pitom ishto kegufo. Why should we darshan that way? Ishto kegufo. So he says an interesting idea that I'll tell you why we don't say ishto kegufo, because it's not absolutely true. Because you could get rid of your wife, right? Gerushin, or get, or misasabal. It's not a permanent bond, and so it's not literally like your arm. You can't get rid of your arm, right? Okay. So it's not literal. So therefore, we could darshan b'cha v'lo be'ishtacha, because ishto kegufo is not literal. Right. And what's the raya? It's not literal because it's severable, and you can undo it. Right. And you can't get rid of your left arm. So he says an amazing chap. There's a shita in Yerushalmi that says that goyim have no way of getting divorced. Now, we don't paskin like that, Yerushalmi. A ben Noach, the way he gets married is by just living with his wife, and the way he gets divorced is simply by throwing her out of the house. That's the way we paskin, right? That's it, because they don't have kiddushin and gittin. They don't have kiddushin. So they live together, they're married, he throws her out of the house, they're divorced. But there's a Yerushalmi that says they've got no way to get divorced. No way. Right, and they don't have gerushin, so there's no such thing as getting divorced, right? And the Pnei Yoshua wants to tie further that if they can't get divorced, that also means mitat habal is not matir her either, because what's the difference?
She's for life.
That's right. So it's like the Indians that just burn the woman with the nechasim. That's the Eskimos. Well, of course, we don't say
they burn the parents because they don't want the kids to suffer seeing the parents die. So they send them out on a raft. They get old.
I suppose there's some nation on earth that burns the
The
wife, the wife of the dead man.
I think you saw it
Together,
more than in 80 days.
No, I didn't see
They tried
it.
to burn a princess because the king died.
Around the world in 80 days.
But anyway, look, seriously. So the Perishua says that according to that Shita, if there's no divorce, there's no misabal, a woman is an Eshes forever. Right. So that's Yerushalmi. We add the Pnei Yeshua spin to Yerushalmi. So now let me ask you, says Kli Chemda, Yaakov gave himself a din of a Jew or a din of a Ben Noach?
Because you know the Torah, because Avos didn't technically did keep the Torah, but didn't get the Torah yet.
Yeah, but he gave himself a din of Ben Noach for Ikra din. For Uriah, he married two sisters.
No, that's not Uriah. They're saying that there's a different teretz for that.
Uh-huh.
The teretz that he married two sisters because it was a chutzlaretz. And the Torah.
Fine. Okay. So fine. So he gave himself, but so that means he. So even like that shita, right? That So in the chutzlaretz he has a din of a Ben Noach, right?
Okay.
So he gave Yaakov Avinu gave himself a din of a Ben Noach, right? So wait a minute. Let's go back. Flash to that Yerushalmi. If a Ben Noach can never get divorced, right? So now, if a Ben Noach can never get divorced, listen to this. Right? Ben Noach can never get divorced. That means by a Ben Noach we could darshan ishto kegufo mamish.
Okay.
Right? Oh, so because and therefore by a Ben Noach he can't say b'cha v'lo b'ishtecha because you are your wife and your wife is you because you're inseparable. She's like your left arm. Yeah, it's Yerushalmi. Oh, so like that Yerushalmi, it's very good, right? That she had to pay for his baal ta'acher, for his delaying his netter, right? And he just says an interesting thing that he wants you to just analyze it. Interesting analysis. He says, it makes sense. Kiddushin has gittin. You know why? Because what's Kiddushin? It's a kinyan. It's an acquisition. It's a kinyan. So you could be koneh, you could be makneh. Makes sense. Right? But Ben Noach, he's not koneh her. They just live together. It's chibur. They're married not because he acquired her. They're married because they're mitchaber. Right. Just it's a chibur that has no period after. It's an absolute chibur. And he says an interesting word that it could also be used in a relative way to explain the difference between kiddushin and nisuin. Kiddushin, actually, that in the old days of the Talmud, they used to do it 12 months apart.
Right.
So Kiddushin is a kinyan, Harayat is a kinyan, right? But Nesuin is machnisa l'toch beito. Nesuin is not a kinyan. Nesuin is a chibur. But of course, since it's but get helps for it also. But this idea of kinyan versus chibur can help describe the difference between Kiddushin and Nesuin, right? So that's his second teretz that Yaakov Avinu gave himself a din of Ben Noach because that's how he allowed himself to marry two sisters. But if he's a Ben Noach, then like that shit to Yerushalayim, he can never divorce. But why not? Because by Ishus by Ben Noach is chibur, and she is you and you are her, right? And therefore you can't darshan b'cha v'lo b'ishtecha because you're the same person. Because by Ben Noach it's to be taken literally because they are inseparable. Right? But the third teretz is from the Meshech Chochmah of Meir Simcha. And he says an unbelievable chap. The Yaakov Avinu said in last week's parsha, "V'shafti b'shalom el beis avi." So he wants to learn. That's not just the pshat. I should be so safe. God should protect me so much that I can make it back to my father's house. No, that was part of the game plan. He was noder. He was noder like this. I'm going to Yitzchak's house. Right? Mm-hmm. I'm going to do some time, and from there I'm going to offer up the korban at Beitel. It was the game plan, not just on the Tanai. It was the game plan that he was noder, right? Yafeh, right? So now, what does it say right before the parsha that Yaakov Avinu? When it says this week's parsha also, right? About around the time when he went to Beit El. It says that Vatamas Dvora Menekes Rivka. The Chazal, the Darshi, it really means that Rivka herself also died, right? Rivka died, right? Now, V'shafti b'shalom el Beit Avi. Now everyone knows throughout Shas Beito zu Ishto, like by the Kohen Gadol V'chiper Bado Bad Beito. The Beito zu Ishto. That's why the Kohen Gadol has to be married. That's why
they just have a second wife.
Second, just in case, because V'chiper Bado Bad Beito Beito zu Ishto. He said V'shafti b'shalom el Beit Avi. Right?
Right?
No, Beit Avi. But Rivka died. there's no Beit Av anymore because his wife Rivka is his house. So it's not the pshat he was ma'acher the neder. It was pshat he was the neder. He was mevatel neder. Mevatel neder. There's Taka Gemara in Shabbos that on bittul on that when you go against the neder, then your wife does could one of the onshim is that a person could lose his wife over that, and that's why. So he says it's not because of ichur, because it was bittul, because he waited so long till Rivka died. Now there's no Shafti B'Shalom Beit Avi. He can't be Mekayim the neder if he wants to. So it's bittul on neder. Bittul on neder a wife does Chas v'Shalom die for. Wow. So that's the Or Sameach's teretz. And we'll just end off with a very interesting story talking about wives and nedarim, and that story I heard from Yair Hasky told from the Boston Rebbe over here, Rabbi Horowitz of Boston. He said that the Divrei Chaim of Tzans, who had a son with Baruch of Gorlitz, so you have to check. I think they had a Hasidic community in Gorlitz. Anyway, Gitzer. The Divrei Chaim was once asked who, in his opinion, is the smartest guy in the world. He said, I'll tell you, the smartest guy in the world is my Meshulach Yankel. Yankel, my Meshulach, that collects money for me. I said, well, let's see, why is he so smart? So I'll tell you. Here's an example. A while back, one of the towns that are under my jurisdiction, the mikveh broke. Right? And I said, Yankel, you got to take care of this. You got to raise money for the mikveh and get that mikveh fixed. All right, so Yankel goes around collecting money. He comes to the town where the mikveh is, and he knocks on the door of one of the richest guys in the town, says, look, I'm a shliach of the Divrei Chaim, and I'm collecting money for the mikveh. All right? He says, I don't care about the mikveh. Looks at you, he says, hey, don't be mezazah. I'm a shliach of the Divrei Chaim. I could do things for you. He says, I'll tell you what I want. I want my wife dead. You know what? I think I can help you with that. Listen to me, right? Gemara says that if a person's mevatel a neder, his wife dies, has v'shalom. So here's what I'm going to tell you to do. Listen, buddy, I got a game plan for you. Make a neder to pay for the whole mikveh. But don't pay for the mikveh. Don't be Mekayim that neder. She'll be dead in no time. Really? Promise. Okay. So he makes the neder that he's going to pay for the whole mikveh. Says, okay, I'm going to go around other people collecting, but don't let me catch you giving money for that mikveh. All right? Otherwise the plan won't work. No money. Okay. So he goes around collecting, and there's not enough money. He goes to other towns. And he comes back to this town. And they say, this guy here said, Yankel the Meshulach's in town. And you don't say you're a liar, you're a thief. Right? So what happened? My wife's still alive. Healthy as an ox. So what happened? Have you been giving money to the mikveh? No, chas v'shalom. How can you say such a thing? I would never give money to the mikveh, like I promised. I made a neder to give, and I promised not to give. This is not right. The Gemara says the Gemara can't be wrong. Let's think about this for a second. Describe what your day looks like at home. My days are hell. I fight with my wife from the moment I open my eyes till we just get too tired to fight and we fall asleep at night. I said, I got it. I figured out the problem. Right? In Shamayim, they're not giving her a din of your wife because you don't treat her like a wife. And that's why it's not working. You got to treat her like a wife, and then it'll kick in that you made a neder, you're not being Mekayim. So what do? How do I treat her like a wife? Well, this is what you do. You got to buy her flowers on Erev Shabbos, and wherever she cooks, you say it's delicious, right? And wherever she says to you any insult, just don't answer her back, right? So guy says, I have to do this for like a long time? No, a few weeks should be enough. All right, does it? But she sees that he's changing, so she changes also. He's nice to me, she's nice in return, and they fall in love. Right? And they rediscovered each other but then she gets sick. Right? And the doctors say, we don't know why, but it looks like she's going to die. So he runs to Yankel the Meshulach. He says, my wife is dying. He said, well, great, that's what we said, right? That's what we planned, right? He said, no, now I love her, and I don't want to die. He says, there's only one solution. Pay for the mikveh, right? He says, my Meshulach Yankel is the smartest guy in the world. Okay, I got